want to show you how to play I Will Wait For You by Mumford & Sons. If you want the letter notes for this, go to LetterNotePlayer.com. You'll have all these notes right in front of you as you learn how to play this song. First thing is I've got it on a steel guitar setting so that it sounds a little more realistic, because they're playing all stringed instruments. You've got a string bass, you got electric guitars, acoustic guitars, banjo. So the closest I can get is a string guitar setting. So I'm going to play that all the way through. Now let's start with the introduction. In the bass you've got an A, B, C, F, E, D, A, B, C, F, E, D, and then the melody comes in. Now the melody chords, when you come to the verse, it's going to be a C chord, C, E, G, followed by an F chord. Then you go back to a C chord and down to a G chord. Now you can play a G7, but it sounds better to the G chord because they do have the 7th in the melody right there. So the C chord is C, E, G, 1, 3, 5 on C. Now the F chord is right here, but we don't have to play that C up there because we've already got it here. So all we do is slide, all I'm going to do is slide the F and the A, the E and the G up to F and A. C chord, F chord, back to C chord, and down to G chord. Now your G chord is G, B, D, 1, 3, 5 on G is a G chord, and we don't need the B and the D clear up here because our fingers are right down here. Da-da-da, C, back to C chord. Now on this other part, the introduction, you've got an A minor chord, A, C, E, and it's about 4 beats there. Now they've got all the instruments rolling there, so just play whatever you want. You can arpeggio, hit it a few times. Now there you go to an E minor. Now your E minor is all white notes, E, G, B. And we're right here, so I'm just going to slide down to a B and a G right there. Keep the E. And then all we got to do is change the B to the C, and we've got a C chord. Now here, you've only got 2 beats on each. And then that last G chord holds, so you've got a C chord, F chord, C chord, G chord. So the C chord is here with C in the middle. The F chord is going to be right there with the F on top, C, F, A, C. But we'll have the F on top, back to the C chord, and end with the G chord, G, B, D, and then we do it all over again. So that opening introduction, they play twice. That's an E minor. You can get away with a G major, but I think they're playing an E minor on that. So if you listen to it, there's a subtle sound difference there. But while you're holding that G chord, they come in with the melody and just a chord behind it. So here's the melody: D, C, E, D, C, F, F, E, G, G, E, D, 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 E, D, C, E, D, C, F, F, E, G, G, E, D, D, G, A, C, G, E, F, E, F, G, and then they repeat that. Now, I didn't show you the chords there. When they go to this bridge into the chorus, G, A, C, that's an A minor chord there, and we put the A up on top because we're coming from the G and the G and the C chords right there. So we just slide up to the A right there, and we've got the A minor chord, A on top, A, C, E. Now we go to an E minor and then to a C. So from the A minor to the E minor, C, and then they don't hesitate here. They go C, F, C, G. So when they hit that C, they keep going, plodding right through. C, F, C, G. Before that, they wait. So let's get into that with the melody now. And then we go right into I will wait. And they hold back. So the I will wait, they go in the chorus. The melody is C I, C G, E D C, G, E D C, E E. And let it die. The chords are C chord, E minor chord with E in the middle. We take the B down here, C. Now once you hit that E and E minor chord, then while they're waiting, they change to a G chord. So all we got to do to change to the G chord, it's a subtle difference. We change this E to a D, and now we've got a G chord. G is the root, E minor is the E is the root. Once you change to that D, G becomes the root of the chord, and we've got a G chord. So we've got C chord, E minor, G. So they only do that twice, that particular time, and then there's a little bit of an interlude with C major. Actually, it's probably going to sound better up here. And they go right back to the verse. This time they do I will wait 4 times. Got another little bridge there that's going on, and they start on C, and here's the bass verse. C, B, A minor, F, E, G. There's the bass line coming down, but the chords are going to be a C chord. And I don't really play any chord right there. I just let the bass carry that. I think it's an E minor tonality, so I think we're hearing... But it doesn't matter. I just let the bass handle it. So we go from a C chord with C in the middle to an A minor chord. All we got to do is change the G to an A. And then we've got an F chord. Change this E up to an F. And then when you hit this E in the bass, it's actually a C sound. We've got the E in the bass, but it's a C chord. They actually go through that C chord and they go to a G in the bass is what they do. Yeah, Yeah, it ends on a G, not a B right there. So you've got, now I'm going to go slowly with it so you can see. I'll pick it up to 2. And they do that twice. And then they sing to it. And when they sing to it, all I'm going to do is play their line. They come in with an E, D, C, A, G, A, C, B. So all we're going to do is we're going to play it like in thirds. But it's going to be an octave apart. They do that twice. So they're singing up here, and the bass is playing down there. And then, of course, they've got guitars going. But I can't play the guitars and that melody line at the same time. So if you're doing a sing-along, then you can have the chords. But otherwise, these are the notes. So E, D, C, A, G, C. Now there's where you jump up to a C. G, C, B. So they kind of, the vocal goes up to the, right there, then. And then we come back into the verse. We play the verse. Now the last time you play the verse, they kind of arpeggio, they have an arpeggiation through that thing. We play it 4 times. And the 4th time is where we end it. And the way they end it, they just go from that G chord to a C chord. And they let it fade away. So let me play with it the last time. I Will Wait for You by Mumford & Sons.